All right, friends, welcome back to Shuttle Squad, Season 3. Here we are.
Season 3.
Awesome.
Welcome back, Kirsty Gilmour. Welcome back, Marvin Seidel. Welcome back, Christo Popov. Maybe later today.
Maybe. He's going to do another drive-by
Yes.
podding.
Live reporting from the All England, where Christo is once again playing 2 matches a day and not available.
Well, he really needs to rethink his priorities.
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
2 second rounds of an All England or the Season 3 opener of Shuttle Squads. Committed.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are.
We're committed.
Well, top 5 gets a wild card for the next episode, but he has to
Yeah.
step up his game. for
No,
sure.
of course. He's doing a good job out there. So
The last episode, I just looked it up, that we recorded was, or published, was 8th of November.
Oh,
What happened in your lives since November?
you can go first, Marvin.
Okay, so many things. I think my first real Asian tour as a mixed player. In January, Malaysia Open, India Open. Nice. German Championships afterwards. Got a title in the mixed, second in the men's doubles, which was also okay. Yeah. Family life okay. I think. I actually moved into a house.
Wow.
So I don't know if that. I already said that in November. Maybe I'm not sure.
No?
I
But
don't
yeah.
think
That's a
so.
big deal.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. So yeah, in general, I would say life's good.
I'd like to hear that. That's
Thank
good.
you.
Kirsty, what about you?
End of the year was pretty quiet. I was still dealing with my ab strain from earlier in the year. Just takes so long to heal something like that. And then it was Christmas. I didn't have the best kind of training through Christmas. Just some injuries and some a head cold, but it was a real bad one. Not to sound like I had man flu, but it was a real bad one. And then also Asia tour, which it was fine for me. I played some good badminton, but really not my best. Came home a little bit frustrated, and then I had some really good weeks training, like real big volume, feeling really fit, and then played some good club matches with my Danish team, and then all went a bit left. Took a left turn last week at German Open. I had a really good opening match, but I found out that I've torn my calf in the second round against Miyazaki, so that's not ideal.
No.
But we're rolling with it. We're dealing with it. It means I was out for this week of All England. I'll be out for Swiss and Orléans, and Europeans isn't a complete no, but it's not a promised yes either. So I think I just have to see how my calf responds to the rehab that we go into now, and see where we are before Europeans. I don't want to take any chances because I don't want to be back at square one and mess anything up for the bigger picture. So it would really suck to not play Europeans. I think I've not missed one in 11 years, 12, something like that.
We got to keep the medal streak going.
Well, there's, I think since 2015, I think there's been one European Championships where I've not got a medal. That was 2018 in Quelva.
It's consistency.
That's not bad, I suppose.
Impressive.
Yeah.
There's a few European games in there as well, but
So, did you have any bigger injuries before? Like the first injury that was this app thing. Since we are recording podcast.
I think so. Plantar fascia had been kind of ongoing. I had plantar fasciitis for a long time, like 18 months. But I knew that I could just play through that, and nothing was gonna break or snap. It was just gonna suck.
Yeah.
So I got an injection in that November 24. 24? Yeah, it must be. And it's been totally fine ever since. So yeah, kind of sucks. I never really have just plain straight up muscle injury. I've had a little plantar fascia. I've had knee a little bit. I've had a little shoulder thing. My back is kind of my
Just the
ongoing
usual
thing.
stuff.
Honestly, I
have.
was reeling them off earlier, and I was like, God, it's amazing that I get out of bed in the morning. But you learn to live with it. So yeah, this one just sucks because I feel like my calves are strong. Like I get good scores when we do gym testing and everything. But so it's just one of those things that just
Happens.
went one day. Yeah.
Marvin, for you, it was more all your partners having injury trouble in the recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You're quite a robust man.
Kind
you
of.
also had some kind of like, was it back or was it hip?
Yeah, like 6-7 years ago, my back was a big issue. Then the hip, of course, was always something
Those German hips.
that I had to worry
It's a
about.
thing,
But
Yeah.
I would say it's actually really, really good. No problems in the last few years that I've had, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, sometimes I have also a little bit of a muscle injury, like especially my back thighs, right one. Not the best. Maybe because of how my spine is, like this little arch that I have has
Makes them tight.
Yeah, makes them tight.
Yeah.
A little bit more
Only
tension.
on the right side?
Yeah, because of the lunges,
Makes sense.
So,
Yeah.
but other than that, I'm very happy with where I am. And also, actually, I have to say, like in the time since November until now, I've also lost a few kilos of body weight, which was a big goal for me, and especially like Christmas period. Normally, like everyone knows,
Dangerous period.
it's difficult, and maybe I gain like 1 kilo or 2 sometimes if it's not going so well. But this time, actually, I lost weight over December, so I was really, really fit for the Asia tour in January also, which I'm really proud of also because it's not easy for me to lose weight. I have to consider a lot of things and be very disciplined and everything. So,
Did you take extra care with your diet, or did you increase like CV work?
No, diet, 100% diet.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
I think we train enough so that losing weight should be possible, but being disciplined with the diet was not always easy, and I also actually struggled with like some mental issues regarding food for quite some time after the Olympics in 21. And yeah, therefore I'm very happy with where I am right now, and that I can eat without thinking too much about the food and just sticking to a plan, and it works well. And I have a nutritionist that I work with, and he's helping me a lot, and it's working really, really well. So yeah, that was a big goal of mine for actually the whole last year, to have a better relationship with food, and it worked out, and I'm happy with where I am right now.
Nice. That's cool. I like it when you try to change something, and I think diet is quite a good example of like, because it's such a habit. Like what you eat is such a habit. You reach for the same things, and I think when you break those habits and make new ones, and then those new decisions are easier. That's such a satisfying feeling to me, because like, if I look back at pictures of me when I was 22, 23, 24, I was probably 5 kilos heavier than I am now. And I can just see all the decisions that I was making back then and how different they are now. And like, especially like portion control, I think I always ate well, but too much of it for what I was doing.
But when do you stop? How do you get that feeling of, okay, now it's enough? Especially when you work out so much and burn so much. How do you figure that out?
For me, little and often. I don't eat like massive meals. I'll eat like 6 times a day, but like just a little bit. I know if I have that feeling of like, oh my God, I'm so full, like I've done something wrong. Like I rarely feel that anymore. Whereas I used to feel that quite often. I would have the biggest dinner you've ever seen. Whereas now I'll have like a pre-dinner snack, a small medium dinner, and then a post-dinner snack.
I couldn't agree more. Honestly, it's exactly the same thing that I changed from like having the biggest of meals because I was just so hungry at one point, and then going overboard, and now just eating so much more often. Yeah, and just like small portions all the time, never feeling like, oh, I need food.
Never let yourself be hungry, but never let yourself be full.
Yeah.
I think is one of the things that's helped me.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
don't have to, like, I think if someone saw how much I eat as in terms of portion sizes, they would think I don't eat that much at all. But I think non-athletes go like 4, 5, 6 hours without eating anything, and then they'll eat loads. Whereas I'm gonna reach for a snack every 2 hours. Something's going in here every 2 hours.
But you always have to have something at hand that is not super unhealthy, because when you're, especially when you're on the go. For example, for me here as a non-professional athlete at this tournament, we're in the media area, and then there's like cookies, and somebody offers you like, here, try this, try that, and it's always sugar, something sweet, whatever, fatty.
I think
really
making the right choices there is like so important. Like going for the banana instead of the Twix or whatever it is. Yeah, well done.
Wait.
Or like when you go to the supermarket.
I just finished these.
Wait.
I just finished some twisties, cherry tomato bomb.
Wait a minute.
Chips, or crisps as we would call them.
Yeah, really good that you take care of that diet.
I'm putting my hands up. They intrigued me.
But it's the 80-20 also, right? Like
80
good and like
20 cheeky.
Yeah.
You also gotta treat yourself at some time.
I love food too much to not. I would be miserable if I didn't get like bits of joy from food. Some people can go like the absolute perfection, just use it as fuel. But I love food too much to do that. I need some joy from it.
Yeah, and I found coffee to be also really good, like not supplement, but
accompaniment.
Like alternative.
Yeah, alternative to a sweet thing. You know?
Yeah. You're having a lot of coffee
You're
lately.
in the coffee world now, boy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trapped, but it's a good trap.
You've really overtaken. I'm just an AeroPress guy. I'll just have an AeroPress. It's just black coffee. I'll add a little milk. I'm sorry, that's blasphemy in the coffee world, but I like milk in my coffee. Okay, but Marvin's got like a full milk steamer, portable milk steamer for the hotel room.
I think it's the same as always. If you get into something, you get into something like for real.
And I think Marvin might be a hyper fixator. You've got a fun new hobby, playing less golf, but you're doing more coffeeing.
Yeah, it's true. People who know me know that like when I do something, I do it right normally, and it's the same thing here.
Yeah, you go 100% all in.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
That's why I'm here and not playing on court, Christo.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to talk with our little French friend about his period between November and now, because
he did some stuff.
Played some solid tournaments, won some World Tour finals. Just what you do.
German Open, just
won German Open,
easy.
World number 5 now. That's actually crazy. I haven't looked up where he started when we started recording like 2 years ago.
I think maybe
Probably
like 1920, something like that.
Yeah. Solid improvement there.
That's that's a solid gain, I would say.
And he's still recording with us.
I know.
Well, we are still honored to have him with us.
Not yet, actually.
We will see. Yeah, we will see.
Leave a comment down below if you want Christo to keep recording with us, because I feel like we might need to apply some pressure here.
What else happened? I mean, we had team championships was a thing. Not a thing for Scotland. That's also interesting. Yeah. But also a thing for Germany.
Didn't go so well, unfortunately.
Lost in the group stage. That's also new. I think we haven't seen that too many times.
No, that's true. Germany. From the girls, but I think the boys almost always got out of it. Maybe even always. I'm not sure. But it was also difficult for us with some injuries in the singles, especially. Like Kian also getting injured during the tournament. Fabian obviously out already beforehand. And then against Sweden, I think Kiki can also just lose his singles there, which is fine. But then in the other singles, we're just too weakened, and they also played solid badminton there. So kudos to them, well done. But yeah, of course, a little frustrating for Germany. And actually, also the news came out yesterday or the day before. We still qualified somehow for the Thomas Cup in Denmark for the World Championships, because Denmark is the host country and therefore Europe gets one more spot, which we would have gotten. But the DBV decided not to send a team this year, actually because of money. So it's,
welcome to my world.
It's tough, but like we have to admit that money is tight in the association, and they thought about like, okay, we will send a team, but the players have to pay themselves. But they didn't want to do it due to like various reasons, but also because they felt like then they put the pressure on the players if they should do it or not. And basically they also wanted to protect the players a little bit from having to make this decision, and therefore also having the feeling of like, okay, if we do this, then we basically say we offer a spot for to buy. If you want to say it like that.
If you can afford it, you're on the team.
Yeah, correct. Kind of like that. And they didn't want to do it, which is fair. I personally would have decided differently, to be honest, because I feel like to decide you don't send a team also means you take away the chance for people who are willing to pay the money. And for example, we have like these two young guys, Jonathan Dresp, Simon Krax, who are also playing amazingly at the European Championships.
New German champions.
And the German champions, correct, we lost to them in the final, who would have gotten for sure 2 or 3 really good matches there, and they were for sure really invested to wanting to play.
Sure.
And yeah, now they just don't get the chance at all, which is a little bit sad. But yeah, it's the way it is. We can't change it. But yeah, I probably, if I would have been in charge, made a different decision.
I mean, Kirsty, you know the drill with the money issues and team events.
Yeah.
Scotland did not participate in the Europeans.
Yeah.
Was that the same reason again?
Yeah, pretty much. We just because we have to do the qualification process also.
Yeah.
You know, it's maybe almost €10,000 for the qualification, and then the same again, if not more, for the travel accommodation of 10 people for a week, which we can't afford to do that twice round, unfortunately. And like Marvin says, it's such a shame for the younger ones who are relying on that experience. Like, that's how you build your career. You play these games and you play these, especially team events. I've got some of my best memories at team events. My first caps for Scotland was at 2010 Uber Cup in Poland. So yeah, it's a shame for the younger ones. I think us older ones will, we've had some turns at it, but for the younger ones who are trying to build that experience, it's tough. And the position that we're in, we don't really have a third lady singles player to fill that spot. So I think the Uber Cup and Thomas Cup is quite exposing for what kind of state your current system is in. And we had some good girls, and it's absolutely no one's fault that they had to step away from the sport. But yeah, currently we just don't have a third lady singles, which is a tough spot to be in, or a second ladies doubles. Really well, we have Brooke and Ishbel who are up and coming, but Ishbel's a bit injured quite often. So yeah, it's tough and disappointing, because I love a team event. I love team tournaments.
I think all the players do.
Yeah.
Usually the atmosphere is so great. It's also being there and seeing how everybody's enjoying the team sport is so much fun.
I have a personal favorite element of team events. Do you have a personal favorite element? I'll tell you mine, and then you can...
What do you mean by element?
Also, for me, I love seeing the initiation processes for all the other countries. So everyone that's playing for their country for the first time, I love seeing what they make them do. Whether it's like a superhero challenge costume to breakfast. I think the German girls had to do that one year. The English team, they had to stand in the middle of the court with balloons and sing the national anthem. For us, we made our girls do the entire journey there and home with a cape and crown on. That was good. You guys do a good mustache.
We have the whole team.
Yeah.
Everyone had to do that. Yeah. The Dutch boys, the head shaving.
Yeah,
that's the toughest one. They just take chunks out of their hair and they have to play their first game like that.
Yeah,
Okay, that's crazy.
that is really tough.
Oh, yeah. Robin Tabling had a tough haircut for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah. Our boys this time had to carry a unicorn with them.
Nice.
So to expose them a little bit.
Just something that's incredibly inconvenient. It's I don't like ones that are mean. I don't mean that kind of stuff where people get hurt or anything, but ones that are just like really inconvenient are the best ones.
I remember 2 years ago in Chengdu when Kenneth Neumann had this little princess backpack that he had to carry all the time, and he had to get autographs from the star players. And in the beginning, he was really ashamed, and then in the end, he was really proud on his backpack because there were some big names on that backpack.
Yes, I think you need to embrace it. I think it's better for everyone if you just embrace the awkwardness.
But I mean, Scotland has played those team events in the past. Germany has played the Thomas Cup, the Sudirman Cup. Last year's Sudirman Cup was also cancelled for Germany, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So the development, not really good. We're not going into the right direction here.
No.
What do you think? Why
unfortunately
is that?
True. Yeah, I think it's money.
Yeah, but why? Why everything is getting more expensive? But why don't we have more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Analysis, please.
I think it's the partial government funding or mostly government funding of most federations. I don't know how everyone's federation works, but I know we rely quite heavily on Sport Scotland funding, which comes from the government. And then I do believe we're working to get commercial partners. So then you're more in control of your budget, and you can actively seek more money out. But the money that comes from the government is, you get what you get. There's no changing it. So I think that's a way that federations really can build and gain some more like better financial situation is corporate sponsors, private sponsorships. I think it has to be what they do right now. And memberships. We're really working on our memberships in Scotland of like having people affiliated and having like actual benefits for those memberships. So if you play badminton, you pay like £20 for the whole year to be affiliated to Badminton Scotland, and then you get like, I think free cinema tickets is one of our perks. There's like we have a deal with some sort of cinema. You can have some free cinema tickets and tickets to Scottish Open and like actual perks to make it what's the word? Something that people want to do rather than like strong arming them into you have to do this.
And then I think also like from the overall population, the acceptance of actually paying money for something that has value for them in some kind of way. It doesn't have to be a cinema ticket that they actually get, but like entertainment is also value, right? And I think the acceptance of paying money for seeing good badminton or getting, I don't know, a good badminton lesson is much less than in other sports. And maybe there also has to be a shift a little bit in
Germany, you mean?
In Germany, but I think also everywhere over across Europe, where like it's super normal to pay £100 for a soccer game, but like for a badminton game, you have to pay like €8 to watch the Bundesliga. No, I don't do that because we can just go into the training hall and see them practice. But, then you are actively not supporting the sport that you actually love. But on the other hand, you complain about, but soccer gets all the money or whatever sport it is. There is a correlation between how much money goes into the sport and how much money does the association, the players, and overall the sport has.
If you were going to have a golf lesson with a professional or a PGA professional, how much would you expect to pay per hour?
A lot.
Like
a lot.
Like 100 plus for an hour lesson.
If it was a PGA Tour player, like thousands of pounds, I would say.
Yeah.
And you will not do that on a 3 times a week basis.
No, but also like if I get asked for like a lesson, like people are not willing to pay €1,000. Yeah, but you say obvious.
Because the acceptance is just not there.
Yeah, correct.
Because you're used to, especially I can only talk about Germany with in den Vereinen, the club system is basically run on. Okay, I can do sports for free. Or just for a really small amount of money.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I mean with there has to be a shift in like, okay, what is actually normal and like what do I want to spend my money on and where do I get the benefit from and what is it worth?
I think, when you're in the position to do that for sure. And I think golf is a really good example, because like a lot of people get like very obsessed with golf.
Yeah.
And you can reach like a good level like doing it by yourself. But on the other hand, I would love for anyone that wanted to be part of badminton, I would love for finance not to be a barrier for anyone that wanted to get into badminton. So I have a social enterprise, and there's a couple of adult clubs, but mostly we're for kids. And we have a policy that you pay for your first 2 kids. If you've got 4 kids, you pay for the first 2, and then after that, the rest of your kids are free to come to our classes. And it's coach led, and you get a racket and shuttles. And we don't turn a profit really. It's just to get rackets into the hands of like kids that badminton would never be an option for them otherwise. And a lot of the other clubs that are around the Glasgow area are kind of for profit, and they've got like a real performance mindset. But I think it's quite nice, and I think it's quite funny that the badminton club that I run is pretty much not like performance based in the slightest. It's just about like giving someone a racket for the first ever time and seeing if they like it. And I would love that to be the starting point, so that we get thousands of kids, and then hopefully there's a place where they can go and get better, and it doesn't cost them the world. But I think for an entertainment side of things, I think, if that's something you want to enjoy, I think there should be a little bit of a price on it. There could be a little bit of a price on it.
Yeah. There's basically 2 ways you can go, right? The one is, okay, if you want to have like good training, you have to pay for it, and you have to be willing to pay the price. But on the other hand, as you say, that's not possible for some or many kids. So yeah, which direction do we go as a sport?
Yeah.
I think
there's a place for both.
Yeah, correct. That's what I want to say. Like, there are plenty of okay, wealthy people playing badminton who could afford paying good money,
good price.
For good practice, for example, or good coaching. But somehow they feel like it's okay to do it in golf, if we stick with that, but not okay in badminton. And I feel there has to be a little bit of a shift. And I totally agree that we want to make it accessible for as many people as possible.
Yeah.
But I feel like, at least in Germany, that is the case. Like, if someone wants to play badminton, even if he or she is kind of poor or from a poorer family, there are options. Yeah. But especially for the people who are totally fine when it comes to daily life, I think, there can be a shift.
Yeah, because you're going to get quality. So you should pay for that quality. And it all comes back around. The more money that goes into the sport, the more that we can help the kids that want to get into it at the lower end. It's kind of what we see in the whole grand scheme of the world right now. The rich folks stay rich and the poor folks stay poor. And I think if the more affluent people put a little bit more money into the sports, then it could help everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, when we look at the sports on the global level, I mean, we're still rising. We have this new shift with the 27 and onwards World Tour that we have.
That's going to be so interesting.
More tournaments, bigger tournaments. The prize money, I think, for the All England, for example, almost doubles or something. Not
I
really.
think 2 million, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's 1.45.
1.4.
Yeah.
Not double. That doesn't double.
Crazy.
But
That's
it's still
good,
a huge jump. It's going to be 11 days, right?
I hear so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe so.
So what do you think about that?
Oh, it's gonna be so interesting. It's gonna be a total shift. And I think I would personally, speaking as a singles player, who it sounds like we're gonna have to play more games.
Group stage.
Yeah, with the group stage.
Like at the Olympics.
Very personally, I would like to see the change to best of 3 to 15. I think that it would go hand in hand.
I agree.
Longer
I think
tournaments, but slightly, like we're talking slightly less points.
Yeah.
And I think it would complement and offset the sheer volume of tournaments that we have now, because the scoring system hasn't evolved with the increase in tournaments. We're playing more tournaments at the same amount of points, but I think more tournaments with slightly less points, it might offset the whole thing.
Yeah.
And we're seeing, I don't know if it's just particularly now and particularly because I'm injured, we're seeing so many injuries right now. I think everyone's got tape somewhere when they're playing. We're seeing some slips, some little withdrawals from mid-match from injuries. So I think 3 to 15 could slightly help the loads that we go through in a year.
I mean, when I first heard it, I was a little bit, I don't know. But, I mean, the point is totally right. I really like the 5 to 11 system. But, I mean, it's going in the same direction with the 3 to 15. What do you think about it?
When I talked with Rasmus Gemke about the 15 points thing, I was like, yeah, but also, do you really care right now when there is a rally at like 4-4?
Yeah.
Like,
Not
do you
really,
care about the rally? If it's a good rally, you enjoy it, right? But like, do you really care about it, especially if you watch it?
The consequences of that rally are low.
Yeah. So like, why don't we shorten this period of where you actually, like, if it's 0-all, who wins the first point? Like, we don't care, right?
Yeah.
So if it's shorter sets, I think that makes sense in terms of getting quicker to the where it's decisive. And at 10-all, you're already like, okay, it's only 5 points left, so it's the same as 16-all.
I would say I personally think, having played 11 in the Czech league, I think it's quite quick. I think it's maybe too quick.
Yeah. That's
to get any
also my
real
feeling.
rhythm into the game, because I think what we still love about badminton is the possibility of a comeback, and I think that's quite an underrated element, because even if it's 17-11, you're thinking it's not over. Like, this person could come back, and 11 just completely eradicates that.
Do you think? Because I think we also have seen like 9-4, 9-5, and still big comebacks.
Yeah.
The build-up to it is shorter.
Yeah.
So,
but doesn't it make it even more spectacular? Because you have to be even sharper from the first point on?
I think you'd see more throwaway sets. If someone goes 9-3 down,
but then
start again.
But then it's also super quickly. Then it's over quickly, and you have the next one, and it's 0-0 again.
I think in recent years we've gotten really kind of obsessed with like making badminton as shorter and as short as possible. And like, I do agree from like a player's stance of like injuries in our bodies. Yes, but like, people have no problem watching, like we've seen from the Winter Olympics, watching curling for 2.5 hours. And I know it's a different kind of level of intensity, but tennis matches go on 2, 3, 4 hours. People are fine with that. I think we're so obsessed with making badminton as short and as sharp and as punchy as possible. And I don't know, I think, should we ask the spectators what they prefer? I don't know. I think some people actually quite like a lot of people like the best of 3 to 21 currently.
I think there are divided opinions about it, as always, which also makes it exciting. But I think, for me personally, also, I feel like 15 could be a good middle ground.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think you still get, in most cases, the correct winner.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? In 11, it's very
too many upsets where you feel like, but if you play to 21.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
I got it.
But I think 15 still allows for that, because do you not think when you like the top players play slightly lower ranked players, it can be quite even until like 14, 15, 16, but then the really established quality of the higher ranked player will shine through up to 21. So it might cause some upsets, but then I think it would adjust. I think it would level out, and the in quotes better player will still win.
I think there's pros and cons for the upset thing. Because also it would be nice to see some spectacular wins and some upsets.
What if it happens that like best of 3 to 15 or best of 5 to 11 has been like my sweet spot this whole time, and 21 has just not like been for me?
Another top 5 player in the making here.
We'll never know until we try it, guys.
Yeah, I think we will see. And 3 to 15 is, I think it's pretty likely right now.
Yeah, I
to,
also think so.
come with the new changes.
Yeah.
So,
I'm excited. I think at this point in my career, I welcome any change.
Yeah.
I'm up for some new things.
Have you played the Indonesia Masters with the 25-second shot clock?
No.
No, okay,
No, I
me
didn't
neither,
play it.
unfortunately.
With what shuttle?
25-second shot clock. Because that also then adds another layer of, okay, if it's to 21 and you really only have 25 seconds all the time, okay, very, very tough. Maybe then a few less points, but shorter breaks. Then
like you say, I haven't experienced it, but to me, I felt like there was a few too many like caveats to like, it is 25 seconds unless you need the court mopped, or like unless the umpire decides that you can have more time. It felt a little bit
so not really strict.
I don't know. I have no experience of it, but maybe we need to find a player that played that tournament and get some feedback.
And one more thing that is changing, or a new possibility at least right now, is this new synthetic shuttles.
Yeah, you tried them,
Marvin
right?
was trying them recently. I only saw them and had them, but I never played with them. What is your point on those? Like, for everybody who's not aware.
Yeah. So if you didn't see the video that I made at German Open, like, you can check out my Instagram.
Yeah. My God. What have you been doing?
So I was very positively surprised. I'm not saying that because I get money from Yonex. I was honestly surprised about how good it actually responded to the shots that you wanted to play.
I think I've tried one from Victor in the past, I think.
They also have a new one.
Yeah. But like many years ago, and I thought it was great.
Okay, because the very first Victor synthetic shuttle that I tried, I was like, not really.
Maybe surprised is a good
okay,
word. Like way better than I thought. Maybe not great. Maybe that was an overstatement.
Comparing my experience from also a few years back with the new Yonex one that I tested, Yonex much better, I have to say. Of course, there are differences. Like, the sound is a little different. Sometimes when you cut it, it's just not the same like movement that the shuttle is doing. But with everything that I did, I felt like, okay, but if you practice with it for 1 month, you will feel actually quite okay with it. And then the only thing that could be a problem is, okay, how long does it really last? So I had a small chat with Shetty, who was saying like, but if we go 100% at it with the power that Shetty or Ranky Shetty have, then it just like explodes.
Same as a regular shuttle.
Yeah, maybe with the. Sometimes the Victor shuttles also like do this imploding thing.
Folds.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I haven't hard tested it yet. So maybe there are some issues still with it, but I feel like this can be improved in some kind of way.
If anyone's going to find a way, it's going to be Yonex, because they just have the monopoly on shuttle technology. Just again, not just because I'm sponsored by Yonex, but they are just the best in the world at making shuttles. It's a plain fact.
But overall, if the case is that the shuttle prices still rise like they do, and I mean, right now I think it's 56 euros or something for a AS50.
Serious?
Yeah,
crazy.
Which is like
Prices
almost 5 euros for one shuttle. Like if you think about how many shuttles we go through in one practice.
Talking about an expensive sport.
Yeah, true.
I think I'd rather not know that.
Definitely
actually.
not a sustainable thing to do.
No.
So I feel like it's a good thing that there are options, and we also as players then have to think about, but like, of course, maybe right now we or the association or whoever pays for the shuttles can still afford it, but also like a tournament like All England, Yonex has to produce all these shuttles that we destroy here like on a regular basis. So for them it's also a cost factor, and maybe then we as players have to also be okay with, there will be a change at one point and we have to adapt, and we will be able to adapt, and sport might change a little bit, but then that's maybe also natural that it happens. I think we will be okay still if the shuttle is the way it is.
I think that the new synthetic one is not necessarily cheaper. I'm not 100% sure, but it's more durable. That's what they
should last longer.
So aiming for like 40% more durability or whatever.
Yeah. I would love if we could get to that stage.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We're
It'd be
definitely
really cool.
going to test that in one as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we can talk about the Old England here a little bit, because we are here in the Yonex Players Lounge at the moment.
No Christo yet. We
Training
should
areas
know.
over there. Christo probably already warming up for his doubles match. I don't know, where are we in the match?
I have no idea. Christo should be on in the next few games. Yeah.
2 more or something. Yeah.
But I feel like overall there has been some very good European performances. Like just a few hours ago, Christine Busch and Mads Vestergaard beat world number 1.
Yes.
In
Seriously, I didn't see
mixed
that.
doubles.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
They are on a roll.
They're
like,
having a good week.
Yeah, and
Oh my
last week as
God.
well, like German
Yeah,
Open
also
final,
true.
right?
The Scots were also really close.
Yes.
True.
Tom and Delphine are still in.
Correct. Line Kristoffersen also in the quarterfinal. Huge one for her. So yeah, lots of good stuff. Nat Nguyen playing really well as well the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like where this is going. That there are more Europeans beating the best of the best.
Not just those Danes.
No, correct.
How was
a
it
little
for
bit
you,
more spread
Marvin?
out.
It was the first time for you playing here in mixed since, like, I don't know how many years.
Me neither.
And also Took had a little injury before. You just came back here. What were your expectations? And
yeah, we didn't really have expectations, to be honest, because as you said, Took's injury also was just difficult for us, and we didn't really know where we were or are in terms of level. So yeah, not the easiest of preparations. We still, of course, thought we could win that match because we also beat these guys at Hilo Open, but home soil is also a little bit different than any other tournament, so maybe that helped us back then. And they also just played a really good match today against their compatriots and went through to the quarterfinals, so obviously they are doing something right at the moment. Nevertheless, we are quite disappointed, I would say, that we didn't play our best, if you want to put it that way, and just didn't really find our rhythm on court. Also not the best vibe, being on the same page of what we want to do. But yeah, I would say there are a few weeks of training ahead for us, and we will work on that for sure until Europeans. And yeah, again, you can't play well all the time. We would have loved to play a little bit better yesterday, but we have showed really good level already, so we know it's in us. And now we just have to find it again and put it on court and put it into the daily practice, which is of course the most difficult part, to over and over again produce a level that you then also want to find at the tournament. And if we do that, we will be in a good place.
Yeah. Kirsty, we talked about your injury already.
Yeah.
So what do you think? How many weeks?
So hard to say just now. I'm really aiming for Europeans, which is, I think, not including this week, and 4 weeks, I think, in week 4. Let's see. I'll do everything possible to be ready for that. I hear muscles behave well on a recovery journey, but whether it can withstand the pressure that I need to put on it for hopefully 5 back-to-back games, unsure. But I'll try absolutely everything to make it ready.
It sucks.
Yeah. One of those things, such as life. C'est la vie.
C'est la vie. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a really good first episode. I'm still
That's
trying to keep it going a little bit, so Christo might come at some point.
I think the
Lara,
dream
can you have
is...
a look? We have Lara Suffel checking if he's on the training courts. But yeah.
I think there's maybe 2 more games until him, so I don't think he might not even be here yet.
Probably not. I think after the first game he went home to get some sleep. He always sleeps between the matches. Do you? No, you don't have 2 on the same day.
Sorry?
You never have 2 on the same day, right?
No.
Nope.
So
Scottish Open. I played Scottish Open. Well, we played Scottish Open, and 2 in the same days. I'm too old for that. God, that wrecked me that week.
I mean, for German nationals, for example, when you play like many matches,
but it's not the same intensity, so you can't compare.
Yeah.
At the Thomas Cup, no, so you didn't play 2 because there's no mix. You didn't play singles and doubles in Thomas Cup, no?
Well, we thought about it. We did actually think about it.
But what, you played 1 singles in the league?
Yeah.
Yes,
we were talking about you playing singles for a few times.
Unfortunately, I slipped in the second set and twisted my ankle a little bit, and I think
was scared actually.
Yeah, me too. I was also really annoyed by it. Luckily, it was only like 2-3 days that I had to take off. But after that, it was also actually clear that I would not play at the Team Europeans because like I played a few singles in practice before on Yonex mats, not McDonald. But actually, I'm an okay singles player. Like if I find my level, then
I bet, yeah,
I can play quite well. So it would have been a funny thing to do at the Team Europeans.
Yeah.
The deciding match if we win the medal or not. I would have loved to do that, to be honest.
That's how we got our medal in 2020. Julie played the third singles.
Oh, really?
Against
Amazing.
Germany.
Wow, yeah, true. I remember.
No, that was not 2020.
Against Russia. Against Russia.
But there was also one match against Germany where you played doubles.
Oh, that was 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
And it was also Julie playing singles,
Julie
right?
played singles there too,
And
yeah.
she won again, I think.
Yes. And she wasn't happy about playing singles then.
I can
The
imagine.
2021, she was still young enough, but she was not happy about having to play in lots in Poland. But she did, and she smoked it, and she smashed it. So, yeah, I find it funny when doubles players play singles, it's more, you're more likely to get injured from like the movement side of things. And just like it's obviously kind of bigger space to cover.
Yeah.
But when singles players play doubles, they're more likely to get injured from like the repetition of it.
Okay.
Like being at the back court, having to like go 3, 4, 5, 6 smashes in a row. My shoulder's always done after a doubles game, or even just like driving and then like the back of your shoulder and like in there. Yeah, I kind of actually hurt my wrist/thumb maybe at WBL playing 3v3. I think I got an unexpected shot and I've made a funny movement.
Yeah, I would say you stick to singles and you stick to.
I think it's
mixed.
safer.
Maybe that's
I
the
think we're safer
best
that
way
way.
We're all getting older, guys.
Yeah.
So you don't have to tell me twice.
Yeah. So yeah, great to be back.
Yes.
Thanks for your time once again. We will now be back every other week, so recording in a 2-week rhythm.
Nice.
And hopefully we also, for the next one, get Christo in. We will see.
He owes us one.
Yes. Yeah, enjoy your time here, and
You too.
till next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.